What things do a husband and wife need to remember when they become a professional truck driving team? Hello, I'm Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. As you may know, we focus on relationships on our special Sunday broadcast. And tonight I'm going to be talking about the relationship between a husband and wife who become a professional truck driving team. Now, I speak of this from a great deal of experience. Not only were Mike and I married at the time that we joined in the trucking industry together, but we actually drove for almost 3 years as a husband and wife professional truck driving team. I have also ridden with Mike full-time 2 different times as a passenger in the truck that he drove when he was driving for a large southeastern trucking company. We lived full-time in that truck. At least one of those times we were homeless, okay, in addition to the time when we were homeless when we were driving together. So when we were in truck driver training school, our fellow students there were teasing Mike and me separately and says, oh, they were talking about one of the professional trucking companies paid the first seat driver 1 penny more per mile than the second seat driver. Now, I don't know if that situation still exists or not, but the thing was, they asked me, said, you going to let him earn 1 penny more per mile than you? You're equally qualified, or you will be when you graduate. And they asked Mike the same thing. You going to let her earn 1 penny more a mile? And we just came back to him and said, look, when you're a husband and wife team and you're driving together, you're both earning a paycheck that's going to be going into a common pot. And hopefully you have that kind of a relationship with your spouse that you could do the same thing. But anyway, do remember that if you both are CDL qualified to drive a truck, Class 8 truck, or any kind of whatever that truck is that you're qualified to drive, you are equally qualified to drive that truck. Okay, and so both of you should know how to put it in gear, get it in the, down the road, and also back that thing into the hole. Now, there are times when Mike and I have had our little strains here and there. Something just didn't sit right with one of us or whatever, and you're going to have that no matter who you drive with. Okay, we've talked in the past. Mike has talked about the time when he was training as a training engineer or a driver trainer in a truck with someone who was coming on board with a particular trucking company. And whenever you have someone else in the truck with you full time, okay, there's going to be little strains, little stresses, little pinching points, if you will, little pain things where you are learning and growing together, and there's some of that communication that needs to be specified and detailed at times. So some people are going to see things one way, some are going to see the other. So you're both equally qualified to drive if you are co-drivers. You're going to have different strengths and weaknesses. All right. You're going to, you may have or may not have a division of labor. Mike and I did, okay. I primarily drove the long distances, not inside the cities. Mike generally tended to be our in-city driver most of the time. You may have different driving styles, okay, where one person is a little faster on the takeoff, okay, revs the engine a little bit harder to get it into the next gear, that kind of thing. I never did learn how to do progressive shifting, and that was not a problem for me, but Mike learned how to do that, and that was great. If we had still been driving at that time, he probably would have taught me how to do that, and it would have been good. All right, most of the time, a lot of husbands and wives have different personalities, and so the things that matter to one may not matter to the other or as much. Okay, so someone who is very tuned into, let's just say, a receiver's look. Okay, it's kind of, did you see the way that guy was looking at you, honey? And it's kind of like, no. Or, I can't believe you let that person talk to you that way. So anyway, you need to be aware of that. Also, this is a little aside for the ladies, and I'm going to be talking about specifically female truckers in a later broadcast, but we had a situation, I think I referred to it in a previous broadcast when we were talking about tires. Okay, when I was driving the truck, when we were with Swift, and we were with Swift for about 20 months. And anyway, I noticed before we took off from the yard there in Greenville in the Greer area that the tires didn't have all that much tread on them. You got to understand, this was all before CSA and a lot of this crackdown stuff. So, and we were green as grass, newbies going into the trucking industry, but I noticed that there wasn't very much tread. And so I wanted to maybe see if we could get the tires swapped out. No, this load's got to go, got to go, got to go. And so we ended up taking that. Well, in process of getting to where we were going, we had a blowout. And it was one of those things where it's kind of like, we'll take it to the nearest tire center. And I asked the mechanic who was on duty there, I said, in your professional opinion, because when I was on the phone with Swift, they did not take my word seriously, even though I was a CDL co-driver with my husband. I was qualified to be a professional truck driver. Okay, they did not take my word for it that these other 2 tires also needed to be replaced. So there was a total of 3, only one of which blew out. So I had to get the mechanic. I said, in your professional opinion, do these other 2 tires need to be replaced as well? And he said yes. And so I got him on the phone with someone at Swift, and I passed that off to him, and I ended up winning because we got all 3 tires replaced, the one that blew and then the other 2. So ladies, I'm going to be addressing that. There is still some discrimination against females in the trucking industry, and I'll be discussing that. But if you are a CDL carrying professional truck driver lady, do not let these guys intimidate you if you know what you're doing. All right, so you may have different personality types and ways of interacting with people. Now, the way that Mike worked it, okay, the way that we worked it was that, generally speaking, he was the one who interacted with the shippers and receivers. Okay, I was the one who took care of a lot of the stuff in the truck. Okay, that was the way we worked. Some women are very put out by the fact that, well, he took care of it all, and they want to have more, especially if they're driving by themselves. And like I said, I'll talk about the ladies in a later broadcast. But you really do need to be well-rounded if possible. Okay, Mike took care of some of the grunt stuff with the truck, like opening up those levers on the backs of the doors and manhandling the fifth wheel release arm, that kind of thing. But anyway, you're going to hit your stride as a husband and wife. You're going to have different people who, different ones of you who are going to have strengths in one thing and strengths in another. All right. Also, just remember that you're going to be working together. Okay, I would like for you to believe that trucking is going to draw you together. Okay, generally speaking, when we were together, I don't remember any single time when we were together that we ever had separate showers when we went to a truck stop. We always got a team shower if one was available, and we showered together, and we were able to have that intimacy there. Scrubbing each other's backs, stuff like that, when we were going to, taking a shower, that kind of thing, if there was room in the shower, of course. Okay, now, the last thing that I have written down, I'll mention in a moment, but I want to encourage you, if you've gotten some value from what I'm sharing, and what I'm talking about here, this is designed to help you save money. Okay, this broadcast is designed to help you save money, make money. Okay, when you're working together as a team, okay, hopefully you're having both of your paychecks that are being direct deposited into the same common bank account. Okay, Mike and I were able to pay off our big federal student loans in a fairly short amount of time. I don't remember, I think it was 1.5 years, I think I wrote on our website. But anyway, 1.5 years, and we had that enormous debt paid off. Okay, and so by being very focused on this, we were able to work together to be able to make that happen. Okay, the last thing I want to mention to you is that, like I said, we did work for Swift, and I think they've raised their speed limit, but when we were working for them, the maximum speed we could get out of those trucks, because they were governed, was 57 miles an hour. 57 miles per hour. Okay, and somebody said, well, you can't make any money doing 57 miles per hour. You'd be surprised. Okay, if you keep your foot in it, okay, keep that left door closed, as they say, and don't spend time down at the truck stop talking with Susie or wasting a lot of time doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing. Okay, you will make money if you've got the loads and you've got that availability. So work together. Okay, see about applying the same strengths that brought you together as a couple to applying in your work as a husband and wife professional truck driving team, and you should be able to make a great focused effort there, and hopefully be able to learn and grow. I know that there's at least one other professional truck driving team that used to work together that's online. I don't think she rides with him anymore, and I'm not sure what the reason is for that. But I do know that sometimes there's a pregnancy that comes up, and that could be a situation that renders a lady unable to drive anymore. There may be some sort of a rule, a regulation, a prohibition from the trucking company. Well, you can't drive in the truck or can't ride in the truck if you're pregnant. So just bear that in mind. And also, I just want you to say, whatever it is that brought you together as a couple, see if you can apply those strengths to working together as a team when you're on the road. Okay, we do have a page about team driving on our website, and although aspects of that are focused on what I'm talking about tonight, what I'm saying is specifically tonight for husbands and wives who are working together as a married couple, as co-workers. There's a whole different paradigm that enters in there. You're not just married, you are working together. So learn to make that work to the best of your ability. And until next time, we wish you safe travels and lots of money-saving opportunities on the road. Join us tomorrow night for Motivated Monday. And until next time, be safe. Thanks.